else. All that is in the world would not be all that is without us being our most true, authentic self. And this act of violence was meant to pull us away from that pursuit. Hate cannot drown out hate. Only love can do that. So if we are going to
Solo el amor puede contra el odio, así que si vamos a sanar de esto, tiene que ser una acción derivada del amor y no del odio. Y cada generación se enfrenta a una decisión. ¿Vamos a acercar a Estados Unidos más a esa promesa? El estar hoy con ustedes me da esperanza, el tipo de esperanza que solo se puede tener de nosotros el pueblo, de los jóvenes, asumiendo nuestro poder, diciéndole la verdad a los poderosos. Y cuando recordamos que en Estados Unidos y en nuestro estado, el pueblo tiene más poder que la gente en el poder. El testigo está frente a nosotros. Como dijera John Lewis, les pido que respondan a ese llamamiento y defiendan aquello en lo que ustedes creen. Creo que todos tenemos un don especial que dar y quiero pedirles que contribuyan con su don para acercar al país a esa promesa. La opción es nuestra, el momento es ahora y el movimiento está aquí. Gracias por ser quienes son, por haber venido, porque este es el trabajo que hay que hacer para comenzar la sanación. Gracias. Falla la señal de origen. ¿Qué vamos a hacer para evitar la violencia? ¿Qué van a hacer nuestros líderes para que esto no vuelva a suceder? Pudiéramos estar en cualquier lugar, pero estamos hoy aquí, cansados de esta violencia sin sentido en nuestras comunidades y estamos unidos. Así que les agradezco a todos ustedes por su coraje, porque necesitamos a todos y cada uno de ustedes para hacerle frente a esta violencia que nos ha tocado una vez más. Buenos días, soy un estudiante en Apple Valley, Minnesota, y estoy aquí porque estoy cansada. Nosotros como país decimos ser la tierra de la gente libre. Todos aquí tienen el derecho a la vida, la libertad y la búsqueda de la felicidad. Esos derechos les están siendo arrebatados a nuestros jóvenes. No podemos decir que somos la tierra de los libres cuando los padres temen por la vida de sus hijos cuando los dejan en la escuela. No podemos decir que somos la tierra de los libres cuando las escuelas son sinónimo no de aprendizaje sino de violencia. No podemos decir que somos la tierra de los libres cuando hay niños que deberían estar celebrando el Día del Trabajo con sus familias, pero sus vidas fueron cegadas por alguien que tenía acceso a un arma que nunca debió haber podido adquirir. aquí tenemos a estudiantes de secundaria pidiéndole a nuestros legisladores que hagan algo, en lugar de estar en la feria estatal con sus amigos. No debería darse el caso en que 25 años después de Columbine seguimos aquí en el Capitolio exigiendo acción. Sabemos cuál es la respuesta al problema. Lo hemos discutido y lo hemos estudiado durante décadas. Sin embargo, seguimos aquí, igualmente pidiéndole a los legisladores que protejan a nuestros niños frente a la amenaza de las armas. Es hora de actuar y agradezco que todos ustedes estén aquí apoyando estos esfuerzos. Dios los bendiga y Dios bendiga a los Estados Unidos de América. Soy James Burnett. Todas estas vidas que nos arrebataron en 2025, le digo a la familia que estamos aquí para ustedes, los amamos, Dios los bendiga y que el Señor les dé una medida de consuelo. Soy Maddie Hurst. En mis primeros años de escuela, mi lista de suministros no incluía el miedo, sino lapiceros, marcadores y otros útiles que me hacían sentirme también como otras chicas. Porque no es porque no nos preocuparan las armas, sino porque yo tenía 7 u 8 años y yo realmente estaba más interesada en mis gomas con escarcha. Era un poco mayor cuando recuerdo que estaba frente al Capitolio y me preguntaba, ¿qué hace esta gente aquí todo el día? Recuerdo que mi madre me dijo en ese entonces, vivimos en tiempos sin precedentes y los chicos no tendrían que preocuparse por otras cosas que no sean sus deberes y los permisos para ir a excursiones. Hasta el día de hoy, en mi familia, hemos visto estas protestas. Una de mis hermanas está con una pancarta que dice las escuelas deben ser seguras. Es lo único en lo que estamos de acuerdo. En el 8º grado estaba nerviosa. Pensaba en la obra de teatro de la escuela, El Mago de Oz. Pero algo estaba mal. Mi director buscó a un montón de niños y nos dijo que nos metiéramos y nos escondiéramos en un salón. No podíamos salir y estaba oscuro. Las puertas estaban cerradas. No recuerdo cuál fue la falsa alarma, porque estaba ocupada no con mis útiles escolares, sino con mis amigos, que se preguntaban si esto iba a ser el final. No lo sabíamos, porque todos recordamos lo que vimos en las noticias, por el mundo en el que vivíamos, en el que este miedo era una cosa ordinaria. Falla en la señal de origen. Ya no estamos hablando de algo que ocurrió en otra ciudad o en otro estado. No era en un lugar del que me podía disociar. Estamos hablando de algo a 20 minutos de aquí. Y ya no tengo mis marcadores. Ahora es una situación terrible y frente a mi rostro. Es aquí mismo. Y esto es indescriptible. Estamos exigiendo esta vez que se prohíban las armas de asalto. Exigimos que se prohíban los cargadores de alta capacidad. Exigimos la creación de una oficina de prevención de la violencia para que no haya una próxima vez, para que algún día, cuando vaya al Capitolio, ya mayor, no me tenga que preguntar qué es lo que están haciendo aquí. Y sepa y tenga la certeza que esa gente me está protegiendo a mí.
Can y'all make some noise for these young people, please? Hey, come here. Hey, come here. Come here. Come here. All the young people. I ain't gonna lie. It's not about it.
Un aplauso para todos estos jóvenes.
Where y'all at? Make some more noise for the young people. Y'all too. Step up.
Un aplauso
please.
para todos
Come
estos
now,
jóvenes.
Come now. Step up. Y'all good. Oh, y'all can keep going. No, don't worry about it. Y'all keep well, it is. My name is DJ Brooks. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Where You Connect. We're a youth-led nonprofit.
Falla de audio en la señal de
4
origen.
years old. We're young people and we work. That's what we do. We show up for each other, for everybody. We try to make sure that everybody is at home. Welcome home. Welcome to the Capitol. Welcome outside. But it's not about me today. I'm actually supposed to be off the clock. Happy Labor Day. Happy Labor Day. It's about the young people. So I'm going to get a mic to a couple young people who have something to say.
Voy a darle el micrófono a algunos jóvenes que tienen algunas palabras que decirles.
I'm nervous. I ain't gonna lie. All right. Are y'all good with going to school in fear?
¿Vamos a ir a la escuela
Are
presa
y'all
del
good with
temor?
lockdown instead of learning?
¿Vamos a
Are
hacer eso
y'all
en
okay
lugar de
with funerals
aprender?
instead of graduation?
¿Vamos a seguir hablando de funerales en lugar de graduaciones? No. Entonces tenemos que ponerle coto a la violencia.
My name Wayne. What's the point of doing them years of school for just someone to take your life away?
Falla de audio en la señal de origen.
Dreams away, family and friends away, and memories away. Yeah, that's it. Oh, my name's Troy. Thank you guys for being here, for real. Because I know a lot of people not from here. I know y'all came a long way.
Sé que hay mucha gente aquí que no es local.
So if you see a young person, go talk to them. Go say something to them. Don't be scared of them. They not that scary. Whenever y'all come outside, whenever y'all see a young person, remember that's somebody's kid, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's loved one. They were born here, they probably need support, and before they get too old to understand, let's help them understand. Yeah. Troy.
Hello. How are y'all? You know, people have been asking me, how you doing? And before I get into it, I'm Marsha Howard. I am the president of Minneapolis Public. I'm nervous now too, Jerome. I'm the president of Minneapolis Federation of Educators, Local 59, Union Strong. And yes, it's Labor Day. And I was supposed to be at a Labor Day parade at the state fair, but I am here. And people have been asking me all week, like, how you doing? And no, it's not good enough. I ain't good. I'm not good. I'm not good. Yeah, Annunciation is a private Catholic school, but did you know my union members service those children with the minutes that because they all are kids, right? They're all ours. But when asked to speak today, I didn't know if I was being asked to speak as a union leader or a 27-year English teacher or a veteran, or a hunter. I'm from Wabasiki, Arkansas, right near Stuttgart, the duck hunting capital of the United States. Let me talk to you for a second. You know, if you hunting for a duck, they don't allow you to use a high capacity rifle, right? You know why, right? And if you don't know why, you can guess. People fly from all over to come hunt, and you would not be caught with a high capacity rifle out in the swamp, out on a lake, out in a field. Baby girl, thank you for talking about mental health. But as a public school teacher, I would rather have a food fight in a cafeteria, a brawl at a basketball game. But to give a young person a high capacity rifle and rage, the ability to come and take it out on anybody's institution, anybody's church, anybody's street, anybody's school, that is beyond my contract obligations. Do you understand? So y'all can talk about services that we can provide as educators, but what you're doing is deflecting. This is about the guns. I need to center this on what it should be centered on. And again, I could have come here, not in my union shirt, but in my camo. Not the Marine Corps camo, because I am a United States Marine non-commissioned officer. But if somebody has more capacity than I had with my M16, and they only 16, come on now, that ain't right. Enough is enough. There is nobody on nobody's lake, in nobody's field, on nobody's game preserve, in nobody's like a rock, nobody's country, nobody's anywhere that can say that what they do for sport is worth what is happening to our children. I'm an English teacher and I teach about propaganda and I teach about how to sell things. And fear trumps it all. So let me talk to you real quick and then I'm gonna leave. Do not lose faith in each other. In order for us to drive, we have to be on a road and be pretty sure that nobody coming the opposite direction is going. You know what I'm saying, right? We have to have faith in our fellow citizen, right? Just to go about our daily life. So on tomorrow, which is the public school first day of school, we have to have faith that all of y'all adults with children raise folk that are worthy to sit next to me and mine, right? I got trust in you. I got trust in you. Look at each other. Do you trust each other? I trust the people of the state of Minnesota. However, for the one person that for whatever reason is going through whatever they going through, whether they in a class, in a car, in a cabin, I don't care. This house right here need to handle this stuff. And where there is a will, there is a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Listen, we don't have to take away from the folk that got the camo. We don't. Trust me, we don't. But what we can't do is casually allow people with high capacity weapons to just go about their daily business as if that's gonna keep all of us safe, because it won't, it will not. And you got to name the thing what it is. It's about the guns and high capacity magazines. It's about the switches. It's about the switches. It's about the ability to take out more people on a regular city street than I was able to in a theater of war. Come on. If you're not ready to get real about that, then all of this is pomp and circumstance, signifying nothing. And those kids weren't nothing, nor were the 6 people who had died the day that were shot the day before, or that night, or, oh, yeah, Cristo Ray outside of there, on Lake Street, on Hennepin Avenue. It was multiple deaths within 24 hours, all with high capacity rifles. So let me tell you, it's about the guns. So all we're saying is love kids, not guns. Protect kids, not guns. Love kids, love kids. It's about the kids, not guns. And until you can say that with your whole chest, there's more work to do. You got to move your feet. Thoughts and prayers and action.
I want to thank this young lady. She gave me her space to speak. I have a medical issue that the sun affects it. So I want to say thank you again. I'm here to talk about, here's what I'm not here to talk about. I'm not here to put a target on the transgender community. I'm a proud mother of a transgender son. So I'm not here to be part of that. I'm not here to be part of saying white kids got more media than black kids got. I'm not here to be part of that. I'm here about kids, period. I'm here about violence with guns, period. And we are here to represent the losses in our community on a local level. I understand this is about national. I'll stand with it. On a local level in the state of Minnesota. This is about guns. We can talk about mental health. We can talk about who's behind the gun. We can talk about all of those things, but we can't just say it's not safe in our schools. We can't just say it's not safe in our churches. Our kids should be able to ride in a car coming from McDonald's and not catch a bullet in the head. Our kids should be able to sit at a table in their house and do homework without catching a bullet in the head. Our kids should be able to jump on a trampoline without catching a bullet in their head. Our kids should be able to ride home from school with their mother and father and not catch a bullet in their head. We need to be loud at all times. times about violence with guns. And I had this little statement to our governor. Y'all can feel how you want about him. That's your right. I'm asking the governor to do exactly to create it up for us to start with guns in our very own state and then take it on a national level.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. My name is Dana Hageman, and I am here as a mom of 2 elementary-age kids and a volunteer with Moms Demand Action. I joined my first Moms Demand Action rally back in 2018 after 17 students and staff were gunned down in their school in Parkland High School in Florida. The tragedy shook many of us. As moms, it left us wondering, how could this happen? How could we raise children in a world? How is this our reality? So a group of us from our ECFE class here in St. Paul, all of us wearing red. One more down. All right. Wearing our red, carrying our babies, walking around the rotunda, trying to make sense of the world that we were in. Back then, we were just starting to ask ourselves, is this American culture? Is this our reality? It's one of fear. Fear when you drop your kids off at school or take them to a movie or maybe a concert, that they're aware of where the nearest exits are, where the entrances are that a shooter might be able to get into. Here we are nearly a decade later and those fears remain. And now they've hit even closer to home. The sort of fear and anger and sadness that you can feel in your heart and in your gut, and it makes you angry. It shouldn't be normal for my 6-year-old girl to hear about the shooting last week, just days before starting at her new school, to look up at us and say, well, how did they get in? And why did they do that? I saw the confusion and sadness in her eyes, realizing that the world she lives in does have more evil than she can even really comprehend. And as a parent, knowing that that fear, it's real and it's preventable. And that's why it makes me angry. Because why do we keep having these same conversations only to have lawmakers stall or twist these conversations into something they are not? As Mayor Fry said, and many of the people here today said, that starting the beginning and the end of this conversation has to be about the love of kids. And as Senate Majority Leader Aaron Murphy said, we must love our kids more than the politics that are holding us back. Are we doing everything possible to protect their most basic right to be safe and to live? Today, I'm honored to be joined with these young leaders who are standing up to make their voices heard. When I came to the Capitol for that rally, many of them were probably, and I think they said, in elementary school. So that means they've grown up doing active shooter drills, preparing for something they should never have to plan to face, but knowing that they could. And now they're stepping forward with even more courage, sharing their stories, their common experiences, and carrying this torch further, hopefully so they can be the last generation having to scream that enough is enough. To all of you, I want to say thank you. We see you, we hear you, and we are standing, all of us, beside you. Because sending our kids back to school should not feel like places of learning and community, not fear. Yet children, they sit in class, they are bracing for gunfire. Already, many of them probably are aware that gun violence is the leading cause of death for children in America. How many more Americans must die before lawmakers ban the weapons of war that turn our classrooms into crime scenes? Last Thursday, DFL caucus members joined us in our call to ban assault weapons now. The question then is, will their Republican colleagues join them in prioritizing the lives of our children and young people over the gun lobby? We need these assault weapons off our streets and out of our communities and out of our schools. Time and time again, mass shooting, they steal our children's lives, the nations, we grieve and the cries fade, and the lawmakers who were voted to keep us safe, they move on. We will not let that happen this time. We need urgent action and a special session to address one issue and one issue only, proven solutions to prevent gun violence. Minnesota Moms Demand Action calls on Governor Walz to call a special session and for lawmakers from both sides of the aisle to vote for our children's lives. Thank you.
It is Labor Day, and on any normal Labor Day, me and my classmates at Eagan High School should be staying home, playing Block Blast or Fortnite or whatever kids do these days, but instead, we are here at our state's capital demanding that enough is enough. And I thank you all for showing up today, but know this, I have classmates and friends today that did not feel safe coming to our nation's capital, our state's capital, where laws are made simply because it is not a safe environment for them, because this place, this building behind us, refuses to take action. I'd like to direct a quote from a great poet, Lin-Manuel Miranda, to everyone in this building, on this podium, and listening. History has its eyes on you. Too often are school shootings and its victims treated like simple statistics because they are not. Our friends, cousins, brothers, sisters, the kids we sit at lunch, the kids that we borrow pencils from, their lives, their dreams, their aspirations are not statistics. So let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about Amir Joleth, 11 years old. His nickname around the house was Smiley because he'd greet people with the biggest grin in the whole wide world. He was so excited on January 4th, 2024 to go to school after winter break. When his mom found out there was a shooting at Perry High School, she looked all over the streets for him. She did not find him in time. That day, Amir lost his life, and the school lost their Smiley. Let me talk to you about Evelyn Dykehouse, 9 years old. When she wrote down 20 aspirations for the school month, she wrote items like friends first, forgive, be kind to other people, hug your teachers, and lift each other up. On March 27th, 2023, she lost her life when an assault weapon was pointed at her at school. Let me tell you about Ruby Vaqueiro, 14 years old. She expressed herself like no other. She wrote, she drew, she sang, and she played that piano like no goddamn other. No one at Abundant Christian School had nearly as much creativity as she did until December 16th, 2024, when she lost her life at a school shooting. Let me talk to you about Christian Angulo. Let me talk to you about Jocelyn Correa Escandalante. Let me talk to you about Gioni Dameron. Let me talk to you about Rashid Card. Let me talk to you about Bill Kenny. Let me talk to you about Hallie Scruggs. Let me talk to you about our generation. We are the biggest group of dreamers to have ever set foot on this earth. We don't only dare, but strive to shoot for the stars and turn their everlasting light into our everlasting legacy. And we build, and we build, and we build, and we build, ensuring that our future can be a tiny bit more kind to us than it might have been beforehand. But goddamn is it hard to build when you have a barrel of a gun shot at your face. So I'm in my room at 3 a.m. last night, And I'm crying because I'm crying over the stories and tears of kids that I've never met, but that I'll never get to meet. Because the people in the building behind us refuse to take action when enough should simply be enough. Because they continue to treat our lives like chess pieces in the political game. Well, I'm here to tell you that our lives, our dreams are not talking points. Our dreams are not just votes. Our dreams are not just voting blocks. Our dreams are our dreams, and we deserve to have them because we're here. History has its eyes on you. Stop this madness. Stop this insanity. You know what to do. Thank you.
Good afternoon. How y'all doing today? You know, that's a question that we continue to be asked, and for most of us, we don't even know what to say.
That's right.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Hulda Mumanyi Hiltsley. I'm a freshman legislator from Brooklyn Park in Osseo. First, let me begin by thanking our young people who organized this rally. My amazing friend, Aaliyah, called me on Thursday talking about we need a rally, but they're telling us we need a permit. And we worked together with these young people, and look what they have been able to accomplish. When you give young people time and a space and resources, they do wonders. So thank you to our young people for stepping up and showing us and leading the way. I also want to acknowledge Minnesota youth activists, Students Demand Action, Moms Demand Action is in the house, and every town. I want to acknowledge all of you for being here today. To the students, young leaders, and every young person present, you're the reason why we have gathered here. Your courage and your organizing and your voices are reshaping this conversation. It's centering us, especially as legislators, where we should have been from day one. You remind us that lawmakers and as adults, that leadership is not just defined by age, but by action. Today, you are leading Minnesota, and we are honoring you. So we gather here because our children should not be afraid to walk into their classrooms. Parents should not be afraid to send their kids to school. Communities should not be afraid to gather in prayer, in celebration, or even on a summer holiday. And yet, gun violence has stolen the sense of safety for not only our kids, but for all of us. As lawmakers, our job is very clear and very simple: to protect our students, our youth, our families, our neighborhoods, our communities. But too often, partisan politics get in the way of common sense solutions. While we argue, young people are dying. While we stand, families are shattered. And while we delay taking action, our youths are left to organize rallies like this, rallies that should not be necessary in the first place. We are here as Democrats doing our job, and we need our colleagues on the other side of the aisle to stand up and have the courage to do the right thing. We need them to join us in this fight. Common sense gun laws are not just optional, they are essential. And an assault weapon ban
That is not a controversial, it should not be controversial. A high capacity magazine ban should not be controversial. A statewide office of violence intervention should not be controversial. They are life-saving policies. We are seeing what happens when our country unites to confront crisis. We can do it. We have mobilized against COVID-19. We have fought the pandemic before. We can fight this pandemic too. Gun violence is not cancer, my friends. Gun violence is not AIDS. This is a pandemic created by policy failure. And it is one we can solve if we decide to put our partisan politics aside and do the right thing. So I am asking my colleagues on the other side, stop playing politics with our families. Stop playing politics with our children. Stop playing politics and do the right thing. I say this, listen to our young people if you can listen to us. Listen to their urgency, their fear, but also their vision. They are not asking us to be perfect. They are asking, actually, they are demanding that we be brave enough. They are asking us to stand out from the partisan corners and act as one. So let us rise to that call. Let us prove that when our children's lives are on the line, we will not cower behind politics. We will lead with purpose. To our young people here in the state of Minnesota, once again, thank you. Thank you for refusing to give up. Thank you for showing us the way. And know this, we hear you, we stand with you, and we will fight alongside you until every student, every family, and every community can live without fear. I'll finish with this. As an African proverb says, when you pray, because you've heard a lot of let's pray, let's send our warm thoughts and prayers. I'm a Christian woman, but let me tell you, the Bible that I read, it says faith without action is dead. It's dead. So when you pray, this African proverb says, when you pray, also move your damn feet. Now I'm calling my colleagues on both sides of the aisle, especially on the other side, to move their feet. Because guess what? She's a teacher and she's had enough. We have moms demand here, they've had enough. We have mothers and fathers, they've had enough. And some of us who walk into this Capitol every single day to serve our communities have had enough. So say with me, we've had enough. We've had enough. It's time to act, Minnesota.
Hey everybody, glad to be here, despite the times. My name is Cedric Frazier, Representative Cedric Frazier, District 43A, which is the cities of Crystal and New Hope. And just a bit, what I want to ground my comments in is this, because every time we have this moment, I am transported back to my youth. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, my family by way of Mississippi. And when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, gun violence was prevalent in my community. There was rarely a day that went by as I got older that I didn't hear gunfire in my community. It's rarely a day that there wasn't fear of going to the park, getting on public transportation, and just praying and hoping that I got back home safely. That my mother got home safely, that my siblings got home safely, that my cousins got home safely, that my uncles and aunts got home safely. When I was in high school, after multiple incidents where I survived gun violence, I joined an organization called Hands Without Guns. This is when I was in high school. In that organization, our role was, this was young students from around the city. We would go around, we would attend rallies just like this in communities like the one I grew up in, all over the city, when there was gun violence and when someone lost their lives. We would attend those rallies, and we would ask our elected officials, we would ask our community members, do something. Do something. Do something so we don't have to keep attending these rallies. Do something so you don't have to continue to hear kids come to you and say, stop this. We don't have to live like this. And I ground my comments in that because I want to tell all the young people here, those that are still standing here and those that have spoken, I have been exactly where you are so many times. So many times. And the reason I ran for office to come into this building was for the sole purpose to make sure that we don't have to keep having these rallies. And I'll tell you, the thing that pisses me off the most is when we have gun violence. And we get to the point where we're calling on elected officials and we're calling on someone to do something different, to ensure that our kids don't keep dying in places that they shouldn't have to think about violence at all. It's when I hear someone come out and say, this is not the time to talk about gun rights. This is not the time to talk about doing something different. This is not the time to infringe upon someone's rights. When will be the time if the time isn't when our kids are dying in these streets? And no, that is an explicit, real question to any of my elected officials that I hear saying this on the other side of the aisle, and I've heard them say it during this moment. That is the real question. When is the time? When is the time? When is the time? I hear you loud and clear. My Democratic colleagues that are here hear you loud and clear. We have introduced legislation to ban weapons of war from being on our streets. We've introduced it. That's the first step. The next step is to have our colleagues on the other side of the aisle come out and say, we need to move that legislation and get it passed into law. I will commit to that. My Democratic colleagues that stand with me today, we will commit to continuing to push forward legislation that will save lives for our kids, no matter what neighborhood you live in, no matter what school you're in. Anytime lives are lost, that is a failure on us, and we have to own that, and we do own that. And I'm going to close with this because I appreciate all the time that everyone has spent coming out on this day when you could be doing anything else. But we have to talk about these tragedies too many times. Right after that, right after the tragedy and the shootings, so many shootings in less than 24 hours, I had to take my daughter to an open house. It's going to be her first year in middle school. And instead of adulation and excitement, and a little bit of anxiety because it's going to be the first time for her, what I mainly had to think about was, is this place going to protect my child? Am I ever going to get a call that I'm going to have to rush away from wherever I am to run to ensure and see if my child is okay and if her peers are okay? And when I got home that night, all I could think about was how terrible it is that any parent has to think about that. And how terrible of a society and culture that we live in, that we put more energy into protecting these weapons and ensuring that these weapons can be on the street than we do in protecting the lives of our kids. That is not who I believe we are. That is not who I believe we are. And I promise you this place. I will risk that election certificate every single day to ensure that we protect our kids. And my only closing question is to my colleagues on the other side of the aisle, I want you to risk your election certificates with me to save our kids. Thank you all.
Hey there, State Representative Dave Pinto from St. Paul. We'll get another round of applause for the speakers we've had so far. Just incredible. Representative Fraser, Representative Hiltley, the young people, the chaplain. So I've been involved in this fight for a long time. I was the author of the now law for requiring criminal background checks on gun sales. And also the longtime author in the past of the law that Representative Fraser was the final author to establish red flag laws, which we now have in Minnesota as well, which we're proud of that. And I work outside the legislature as a prosecutor in Ramsey County, and I can tell you that I see every day the impact of guns in our community. I specialize in domestic violence cases, and I see, especially in those circumstances, where a gun can really change the equation and introduce a lot of danger. We're at the Capitol. I want to provide just a little bit of legislative political history, maybe something to maybe provide some hope to many of us. So it was just about 6 years ago, the Parkland shooting, mid-February of 2018, and I was the author of those two bills I just mentioned, and we forced a hearing to have those bills heard in the Minnesota House, and unfortunately they got blocked by the Republicans who controlled the House. Yep, real bad. But you know what happened is, you all organized, we all organized, and that fall, you elected a gun sense majority in the Minnesota House fall 2018. Yes, you did. And then what happened is the people who were elected went in and they passed criminal background checks and red flag laws, just like you demanded. That was great. Yep, good. Here's the problem, though. The Minnesota Senate at the time was controlled, I move here, was controlled by folks who were not a gun sense majority. So what did you do? You organized and you organized and you organized, and in 2022, you elected a gun sense majority in the House and the Senate, and a governor, and those three passed those two laws. We now have criminal background checks in Minnesota and red flag laws in Minnesota. And what did they say along the way as those were going, right? They said, oh, no, we don't need those things. We said, wait a second, shouldn't it be that when a gun changes hands, we know that the person who's receiving it doesn't have a felony or isn't dangerous to receive it, right? We should pass that. Shouldn't it be that somebody can go to the courts and say, we should be able to get an order, say this person stay away from guns? That all makes sense. Here's the thing, right now, we are in a spot where, as Representative Fraser said, Representative Hiltley said, you've got a lot of my fellow Democrats understanding there is no reason that weapons of war need to be on the streets of our community killing our kids. Absolutely no reason for that, right? No reason for that at all. No reason for high-capacity magazines that can be used as part of those weapons of war. You know, I hear people saying, well, people kill people, but guns don't kill people. And it's true, right? That in the end, a person pulls the trigger. Boy, you can kill a lot more people with an assault weapon, as we've seen. There's a lot more people. And we know that there were 4 shootings in 24 hours and in Minneapolis, just ending with the Annunciation shooting. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. So in addition to Representative Fraser's question about, if not now, what is the time, I might also say, what is your solution? First, is it acceptable that children would be killed this way? I would hope everybody would say no. Is that acceptable? Certainly not. So then the question is, what do we do? Do we arm teachers? Are you insane? No. Do we put armed guards outside of all of our schools? Like, what are we going to do about that? No. Now, do we need to invest more in mental health? Sure, absolutely, right? And by the way, it might be good if we didn't cut the taxes of billionaires and defund our mental health. Maybe we should actually invest in mental health in this country. You agree with that, right? But ultimately, we need to get back to the fact that it's about the guns. With an assault weapon, you can kill a lot more people. So what I will tell you is, this building, that is your building, that is your house. Whose house? Whose house? Whose house? So what you need to do is go to your legislators and first make sure to lock them in, right? I'm pretty sure if they're a Democrat, they're going to be, but you should make sure you talk to them. You are their boss. You talk to your employee, make sure to lock them in, right? You're their boss. But then you go to other folks and go to your friends and your family around the state and say, no more, no more, no more, and have them talk to their legislators and continue to put pressure, keep coming back to this the solution is we would ban on high-capacity magazines. Heck, we could use some safe storage and reporting of lost or stolen guns as well, it seems to me, right? And an Office of Violence Intervention. Keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, and we'll have the same result that we did with those other two bills. We will change the culture, we'll change the policies, we'll change the laws, and we will do the thing